In this video, we're going to discuss how to rebuild your credit score with credit. Secured versus unsecured credit. Let's get into it. Hey guys, I'm Tasha from the Major Change Group, where we believe small changes can create big results. And we are still in the Credit Score Explained series. Now I hope that you have found this series helpful. And if this is your first time on the channel, we talk about credit, budgeting, student loans, and everything in between. Now before you start applying for credit cards, and before we get into secured versus unsecured debt, the number one thing that you really want to do is first you want to pull your credit report, because you want to see what's on your credit report and what is impacting either the low score, rebuilding your credit, or if you just don't have any credit. Two, you want to make sure that you are pulling your credit score so you know where you range, because you really do not want to apply for credit cards, because you know how sometimes either you think that your score is better than it is or worse than it is, and your score really dictates what kind of credit you can apply for. So before you apply for a credit card, I think that those are going to be the things that you want to do, especially during this time where one, the banks are not really wanting to give new credit, and then two, within your credit score, you don't want to just be applying for credit cards and then you're going to get denied, because that's going to have an impact. While it's not going to be a lot, it's about 10% of your credit score. But if your credit score is already kind of suffering, or you don't have one, you don't want to just be applying, and that's going to take about a year for those inquiries to fall off your credit score. So that's why it's very imperative to kind of go by the plan and check those things out to kind of see where you're starting. Speaking of secured versus unsecured credit, unsecured credit is what we all kind of want. So where you do not have to put any money, it's the bank's money. Like you apply for a credit card and they give you $500, $1,000, $10,000, $15,000 worth of credit, but it's unsecured. It's not based off of any money that you put in or anything. Now, if your credit score, I say, is under 600, I do not suggest applying for a credit card, because one, most likely you're going to get a low credit limit anyway, and so I don't suggest you applying for an unsecured credit card if your credit score is below a 600. Now, here's where we go into secured. So secured credit is where you use your money. So you're going to be the bank to open up a credit card. You can do Bank of America, you can do Chase, they have the Discover It. They have several different credit cards to where you can do a secured credit card, and then it could be as low as $200. But the good thing about a secured credit card is that you're building relationship with the bank or the credit card company, so that you can move from secured credit to unsecured credit. So if you're going to do this, you want to make sure, one, that you have your budget in order, so you know how much money is coming in and how much money is going out. Two, you want to make sure whatever amount of money that you're going to put in for the unsecured card, that this is money that you don't need. So if you're going to put $200, $500, $1,000, however much money on this secured credit card, you're going to be your bank. And so you're going to use it like a credit card, but whenever you swipe it, you still have to pay it off. So it's not, even though it's your money, you're not going to be able to just pay, use the credit card, the secured credit card, and, use the whole $1,000 and then not pay it back, because that's going to make your credit score go down, and you're not going to be using it in a way to go from secured to unsecured. So make sure that however much this secured card is, that you do not have to use the money, and that you can use your credit card like a debit card, and you can pay the credit card off every month, because this is going to do a couple of things. One, you're establishing new credit. Two, you're going to keep your utilization down. And three, you're going to be making the payments on time, so that's going to increase your payment history. So this is going to be able to help you to build relationship and build credit I'm gonna make sure to put the website down in the description on where you can go to see. Once you determine what your credit score is, you can go on this website and then you can put in whatever your credit score is. So let's say it's a 570, put 570 and it'll tell you what kind of credit cards you're eligible for depending upon where your credit score is. Now, I know a lot of times when people talk about opening up either the unsecured or even the secured credit cards, because even as I was looking on this site, so I had to discover it, and which is good. It's a secured credit card, saying like if you have a low credit score, you can get the secured version, and I think it was $200, but it has some other credit cards. But I wasn't for sure where those credit cards, because it wasn't like Discover, Chase, Citibank, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, or even Consider Your Bank. This was like some other like Credit One, and I don't know what those credit cards are. So for me, my preference, I had a friend that I was helping with her credit, you know, so we did this exact process. One, we took a look at what her credit score was, and then her credit report, and then I went on this site to see where it was, and it gave some suggestions. But you really want to take a consideration to if it's a Discover, if it's a Visa, or if it's a MasterCard, depending upon how you use the card. Because you know, some places don't take Discover as easy as they take a Visa. So you just want to check all of that stuff out. And yes, while you want to check the interest rate, for me, the interest rate is not as important, because if you are using the credit card like a debit card and only purchasing what you have the money for at this moment, and you pay it off every month, the interest rate means nothing, because you're going to be paying the card off every month. But if you don't feel like you can do that, then take a look at what the annual percentage is going to be. But if you can, only use the money that you have available. Even if you can't do it with Chase or Citibank, you know, I'm pretty sure you have a checking account, and you probably have had this checking account for numerous of years. Like me, I have been banking with Bank of America for over 16, 17 years. And then I've been banking with Navy Federal coming up on a year. So let's say with my, we're going to say with my Bank of America, even though I don't really want to say Bank of America, because y'all have to check out my video where they cut one of my credit cards, and it was like $15,000 credit limit. They cut it off, but I still have another one, because I had two Bank of America credit cards, one for like $15,000 and one for like $12,500, but I still have the one available. But we'll use Bank of America for an example. So let's say that you're unable to get a secured credit card. Since you have a relationship, so here it is, I have a 17-year relationship with the bank, or even if it's 5 years, like you might have a checking account, you might have a savings account, and then you've been depositing your money into that account. You have a relationship, even if you don't think that you do. You have a relationship. So you can use this relationship as your advantage. So what I suggested my friend to do was to, after we did our part, and I gave some questions to go into the bank. So I said, make a appointment at your branch, and then go in there, and then here's the credit card that I think that you should get, and then kind of go from there. So it was a secured credit card that I suggested, and since she had a relationship with this bank, so she went in, she talked to the lady, and the lady said yes, she suggested that she get the secured credit card. And since she had a relationship with the bank, the lady said, well, typically it takes anywhere maybe up to 12 months to change the secured to an unsecured. But she said, if you can use the card appropriately for 6 months, I'm going to give you my card. Call me in 6 months, and I will transition the card from a secured to an unsecured. So what does that mean? That she's going to use the secured card like a debit card, pay the card off every month, use it appropriately, and then in 6 months she has this bank lady's number, and she's gonna call her so that she can transition it and she can get her money back from the secured card and then get an unsecured credit card with the bank. And then once you get your unsecured credit card, then that's when you can go apply for Chase or Citibank or whatever, if you can get your credit score upwards over a 600. But I want to say that the branch manager told her, I want to say that it had to be over a 675. But if you go to the website that I'll put in the description, it'll tell you which credit card you can apply for depending upon what your credit score is. So I'm telling you, this is a great scenario to, use secured credit so that you can be building your credit, building a relationship with the bank to move from secured to unsecured. Now, this is going to take a little bit of time. This is, I know sometimes like your credit score can go down pretty fast, but sometimes it can go up pretty fast depending upon what area your score is kind of impacted. But sometimes it might take a little bit longer. We're in this for the long haul, so that we can do what we need to do to improve our credit score. So the way that the years are going by, the months are going by, it's just like I can't even believe it's already October. Like, March, it just seems like a distant memory to me, and I just can't believe that it's going by so fast. So, doing this step, even though you think it can take you a little bit of time, it's gonna be here quicker than you know it, and then you'll be in a good spot to be able to leverage credit to do other things that you want to do. I hope that this has been helpful to you. Please like, subscribe, share, turn on that notification bell, and also drop down in the description and get the budget and debt repayment worksheet so that we can do our budgets and make sure that we're paying our debt down. We're doing it together, right? We only got about 85 days into the end of the year, so we can do this. We still have one video left in the series, Credit Score Explained, and this is gonna be kind of a fun one, I think. What do you think about, would you rather have an 850 credit score or $100,000? Drop that in the comments and let me know. But that's gonna be the next video coming out. But I definitely appreciate you for watching this video, commenting, and thank you so much. Have a good one.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.